Yes, we're going to be called Partygate. Partygate. I myself am struggling with this. Me and Amy obviously have been talking for a few minutes and need to go over it. But when we go down here in the news, we've got, hopefully it catches up. Let's get rid of that. Got stupid Indian tops all over it. I don't feel that should be there really with Boris. He's no Indian, is he? There he is. So we've got Boris in this picture being fined £50 by the police for what he did when he said we weren't allowed to meet up with anybody, and he was. And in the next breath, the paper are promoting him with the same tie on and a blue tie here and probably the same suit on. They're promoting him here meeting the president of Ukraine.
Yes.
How ridiculous is that? I'm sorry, that is bloody ridiculous. He should have gone anyway. You know, we said Hancock went, and you said, well, another member went, didn't you, Amy?
Yes, Lord Wolfson. He resigned over the whole thing.
Yeah, he was the patsy to take the fall for Boris.
Yes.
And then also I said it's the same really, because the Labour leader has done it as well. I'm sorry, it's just the same. If you're in a lockdown and you finish your business meeting and go, hey, should we get a takeaway and sit around and have it? That is just as bad as Boris having his parties. And it's even worse because none of these people think they've done anything wrong.
That's right. And then they've made it so hard for people. They can't see their families because they're trying to follow all these rules. And then the Boris and the other people aren't even taking it seriously themselves, and people were getting like $1,000 fines.
Yeah, I said in this other bit of video that didn't record that my children listened to this moron. I'm sorry, that's what he is.
No.
Sorry, I'll say it just once. My family basically wanted me to have tests and all this leading up to Christmas. So we're 2 years in, and my family now wanting me to have tests. And so I didn't go see my grandchildren at Christmas, and I haven't seen them since, because I cannot believe that I've given birth to these people and that they're my children. My grandchildren are beautiful, but my children, I'm so disappointed in them. I can't hold it back. But anyway, they needed to apologise to me because of what he did, but they won't.
Oh, I know. I mean,
you see, if you and me met, we wouldn't be going, hey, can we have a injection, please? We'd just meet each other and not worry about all the silly things.
Oh, I know.
But I'm just I feel, like if this was supposed to make him look wonderful, all it's done is it's made it, it's minus 10 brownie points for me.
Exactly.
Just for that. And even pretending to meet the Ukrainian, that's another 10 brownie points he's lost. That's 20. So he's minus 20 for me.
Yes, me too.
You could, if you're into all this, you're going to watch this and believe it all, but it didn't happen. So there you go.
Exactly. They're just trying to promote some kind of a narrative or something. And like you said, on one hand, he broke the laws, and then on the other hand, he gets to go to Ukraine and
he should go. Who's going to respect him?
I know.
See, I think what it is there's this underlying thing that goes on where when you're out, a lot of people will say, oh, I believe in the television. So you kind of get that sort of, that's in your face, isn't it? I believe the television. Oh, you're wrong.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of people who do realise that it's wrong. All of it's wrong.
Yes, there are people that see it. But, the television just makes a reality for us that's not real. That's not true. And we just have to not pay any attention to it, actually.
Something like that, Amy, yeah.
Yeah. And I've been thinking the last few days, it's hard to think that everything that you kind of believed in, that none of it's real. And it's really, kind of mind-blowing, like everything for all these years.
Yeah, and you know what? My family look at me as if I'm mad, and maybe other people do, but we're not the mad ones.
Exactly. It's the rest of the world that's
we understand what we're in a bit better.
Exactly.
Even if we don't understand it all, we know we're in some holy Roman Empire thing.
Exactly. That's right. And sometimes it's not easy to realize all that, but it's better to know the truth.
Could see him being the mail. I've got him fined in one picture and going to meet the Ukraine. Like, what can they do? What are they going to do? Like, kill someone in public and that's okay?
Oh, I know.
What do they have to? What is it they have to do before people wake up?
I don't know. And do you think they only made his fine £50 because they're trying to act like it wasn't that bad what he did?
Well, I wonder sometimes, because if you think of £50, if he'd really done it, surely they would be charging him 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000, and then he'd have to go. So why fine him anything at all? It still means that something was wrong.
It's what they call a slap in the wrist.
That's what it says. Despite being slapped with a fine.
Yes.
I'm sorry, he needed to go for that. He made the rules and he broke the rules he made.
Yes. And meanwhile, they're expecting everybody to follow these rules down to the letter.
They don't care. Do you know what? They must be so egotistical. That's it. It's just ego flying everywhere.
It's very, very egotistical.
You know, I'm sorry, I already made the videos. Biden has a flattened out eagle and Trump has a double eagle. They work for the same person.
Yes. That's true.
And there's them parading around saying how magnificent and wonderful they are. And everywhere I look it says abandoned, abandoned, abandoned. You know, we had to hang out with our melted reality yesterday. Abandoned. All the stuff he's finding is abandoned. It's all abandoned. You've got nothing to be proud of. That's what I think.
Yes. Yes, everything is abandoned. You're right. It's not really anything to be proud of.
Come here, Boris. I'll give you a slap. I don't know. In the past, right, I've said before, Amy knows, I would have voted for him originally.
Right.
But the thought of that now, I could never do it to our fellow man, vote for those things again.
Me neither.
Now I know what they are. Amy did as well. Amy liked Trump, didn't you?
I did. I voted for him in 2016. But I told my daughter I'm not voting in 2024. And, you know, I think she still likes Trump, but I can't like him anymore after everything that's happened and what I've seen.
Well, I don't like any of them, and I'm not voting for them ever again.
Yes, that's what I feel the same way.
Couldn't. I'd be betraying everything that I thought and know since we've woken up. I'd be betraying it.
Yes.
Especially when we know what the Queen did about we're all corporations playing in their game, and it's all a game. So I can't.
That's right. That's what I said. I don't want to participate in their game anymore. And if you vote for them, then you're still playing along into their game.
Yeah, I think you have to just get on with... I watched, it was Merlin. It's an old version. It's 2000. It's got Sam Neill in it. And there's Morag. She's Queenie in... I've forgotten what it is now. Baldrick and that. She's Queenie. Anyway, so she's the old way. And, you know, when I watched it originally, I just said, yeah, you know, she's the baddie. And what it was is that she was a pagan way. And then Merlin, who'd been born, he was a Christian. And they were the Christian way. So that's the way they were going. And then Mab, the witch, was trying to hold on to her old ways. So right now I watch it and I think, I'm with Mab. I'm with Mab now. I've changed my mind. But anyway, in the programme, Merlin, she wants Merlin to do all these things and he doesn't want to do them. And over the years, he has enough. And, you know, he basically learned. You know, he tried to fight her with her wrath, you know, because they're wizards, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So he said what we did was we turned our back on her and we walked off and we never looked back. And she's going, Merlin! Merlin! Because obviously they're not looking at her. Maybe that's what we have to do. We just have to turn our backs and walk on, and it's like they don't exist.
Yes. I think that's how I want to do it. just
You
turn my
exist,
back
Amy. But they don't.
Yeah, that's right.
We just find it quite incredible. We came together to make this video because we just found this really incredible. It's even worse today because there's a picture of Boris supposedly being embarrassed, really. That's what it's about. And the next picture, he's out walking with the Ukrainian minister. So which is the one they want people to remember? Obviously not the £50 fine, not really.
Yes, that's a great point. They're on one hand they're embarrassing him and giving him a £50 fine, and I saw that he's going to have to face the MPs tomorrow and Tuesday.
Ooh, I'd like to be there, Amy. Ooh.
I know. And he's got to face the Tory MPs and another group of MPs.
Well, you know that's not true, and they probably filmed that, about 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's true. Then on the other hand, he's walking around with the Ukraine president, and he's supposed to look all dignified and everything, taking a tour of Kiev.
You can see how they did it as well, because he's a quite young man, and he's not a bad looking man, so you can see where they put him in there.
Yes, well, he was an actor, the Ukrainian president.
Oh my God, it gets worse, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, they're all actors, aren't they?
Yes, but he kind of met with Sean Penn and Tom Cruise, and they went over to the Ukraine and they met, and then the president of Ukraine, he was in a television show where he plays the president. He was a school teacher,
right.
And then the people wanted him, they thought he was so great they got him to be the president. And
I think you were telling me about that, weren't you, anyway?
Yeah, and you can watch it on Netflix if you want. I don't want
There you go, it's fairy tale!
Yes. So now they've got him being the real president of Ukraine after he played the president of Ukraine on this television show, this Ukraine or Russian television show. So it's just all big.
Oh, well, I've got a video waiting to go out, or I might have put it, I can't remember now. But basically what it was is that in February, Putin is telling the people to look after themselves because they've already been bombarded by, I don't even like using it, but they call them Nazi, blah, 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 whatever they are. So in February, Putin is saying you've got to look after yourself because they're already there, and they're trying to sort it out from the outside. So how could they say that Russia have invaded when it wasn't? So basically, what that would mean is that Biden is supporting the Nazis.
Exactly.
So what does that mean? What's that telling you?
I know. It's just that, what it is, Ukraine is they're a corrupt nation, but this story is trying to make them look like they're such a wonderful nation, and they're
what does that tell you? If Putin in February is already telling the world that that Ukraine has been invaded and it wasn't him, and and Biden is then supporting the Nazi side of it.
Yes.
So that would be the fascist, wouldn't it?
It is.
Because he hates Putin, and he's a terrible, terrible, evil man. They already know that Ukraine would have been invaded by the Nazi ones. So Biden must be supporting them then, because he hates Putin, and Putin does everything wrong. And look what an evil man he is. It's just pathetic.
It is, and they just want Putin to look like they've got him set up as this really evil person, and the Ukrainian Zelensky, I think his name is. He's like the hero. He's supposed to be like the really good guy in this, and Putin is supposed to be this horrible, evil person.
Amy, last week I said to people, if you had a choice and it was Biden or Putin, who would you want? They all said Putin.
I know.
So they're doing their best to make us hate Putin, but everybody wants Putin.
Yes.
Because when you listen to him, I know it's a game, right? It's all a game. But when you listen to Putin, he makes sense. He doesn't degrade anybody. He doesn't pull anybody down. He doesn't belittle anybody. And he just says this speech, and you're like, yeah, he's just so down to earth. You think, yeah, I want him.
Yeah.
You know, if it was real, I'd want him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy.
Can you believe it? They want us, you know, and the last thing you want is Biden.
I know.
And it's really strange how they do it, because right now Australia is taking the mickey out of America, and they just say that Camilla is the worst vice president that there's ever been, and, you know, Biden's not much better as a president. And you're like, oh, look, I can just see that the carpet's going down for Trump. The carpet's already down for him.
Yeah, probably so.
Come Biden, save us!
Oh, I think so too.
We need to be saved.
I think he'll run in 2024. I think he'll. I don't know, but that's my guess. So
I just want them to all jump off a cliff.
Me too.
You know, I never really thought about it before, but NASA make all the programs for us. The media use NASA to make all their programs, and you just think of it, you just sort of think, oh, I just want to go and be sick somewhere.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to be sick.
That's right. Oh, it's just, and then when you think it's all theater anyway, it's just like our minds are so. I mean, in the narrative, they want you to only support Ukraine. You're not allowed to say anything good about Russia and Putin. And you've got to act like Ukraine is this perfect country with a perfect president, and that's their narrative.
Well, I don't like the West. I see us as the terrorists.
Me too.
We're the baddies.
Yes. Yeah, it's like everything is different than what we were brought up.
I mean, do you know what? Even this bit, I put the video out because really this is about Boris, but we've moved it on now a bit to Putin. You know, if it was real and that, right? So Putin's looking at it. So we're looking at it as real, right? Putin's looking and thinking, hell, I don't want a NATO base right on my doorstep.
Exactly.
So what don't they see? I tell you what, if Russia went and parked up, say, I don't know where Russia could go, be Canada, it can't be anywhere up there, can it? Because they don't own it. We'll just pick Canada, because I can't think of suddenly if to put a base in Canada. Do you really think America would want it? Or we're going to war? That's what they'd say.
That's right. They sure would.
So why can't people work this out for themselves? I'm sorry, you know, I know it's a game, it's all a game. But if I had to say it was real, I'd go, well, Putin's not guilty. The West is guilty. I like what Putin says. I don't like what they say.
Exactly.
It just goes on.
Right.
And then when you actually look at it, Putin did say all these things in about February. Oh, but nobody seems to have listened, and now they're blaming him. It's like, are they sick people?
Oh, I know.
Look, and everybody believes it, rather than someone saying, oh look, we're going to do a bit of research. Did Putin say that they had already been invaded? Oh yes, look, in February, Putin says they're invaded.
Yes.
Do you think I should stick? Well, that video's out on Sun and Moon, but I think I'll stick it in here somewhere, Amy, because
that would be a good idea.
But it's all a game, isn't it? It's all a game, because I was thinking
it is.
Putin wasn't really offering the Ukrainians anything. He was just saying, don't let your mums, don't let them be raped. I was thinking, is that all you can say to them? Like, they've been invaded, you just say, don't let them be a shield, don't let them be used. I'd be going, let's just get out of here.
I know. Yeah, that was a unusual speech in a way.
Often we have these colours, you know, blue and red and so forth, and the team, whether it's A team or B team, you know, like Manchester United or Liverpool here is football in England. You've got these different things, and then you think that you've heard something and you think that you've been told something. Well, you know, looking at this title that The Guardian have put out about the references to neo-Nazi drug addicts in a bizarre speech to the Russian Security Council, this was in February 2022, so we're now talking of like a month, maybe a half ago, that you can hear if this is really what he really says, what he says. So how could they turn it against Putin when he's actually saying this and they're saying, oh, what's this bizarre bit of speech that he's saying? Well, we're going to play this bizarre piece of speech. And I know that most things are games and they're media games, but we're going to play this bizarre piece of speech because I don't know. I'm not into this all. Really, I'm not. But if I was, I would prefer Putin. But anyway, I know that sounds crazy because it's a game anyway. So, but listen to what he says and then tell me what you think he says. Because he said this in February 2022, so I don't understand how everything got turned around on him. He said. Anyway, tell me what you think he's saying.
Еще раз обращаюсь к военнослужащим вооруженных сил Украины. Не позволяйте неонацистам и бендеровцам использовать ваших детей, ваших жен и стариков в качестве живого щита. Берите власть в свои руки. Похоже, нам с вами будет легче договориться.
But they only took what they wanted to take out of it, and they were going this bizarre speech by Putin. But, you know, please everybody, you know, this is for people who aren't awake and don't understand what we're saying. Please go and do your homework and look things up and realise how ridiculous we're being run by the media. That's what I see.
We are, I know. And I was just thinking, he made this speech of course, in Russian, and then they gave us the English translation, but I wonder if they said it right when they...
Well, that one about Biden did happen, about Biden wearing something, we'll just say something, to the meeting. So it was mentioned, but then then the video I was looking at was more like a joke, and when you listen to it, when they're looking at... He never said Biden, I never heard Putin say Biden, so... It wasn't quite like that. So there was obviously some mention of, oh, there's only one person wearing one here, and what, do we get it on a Zoom, on a conference call? But Putin looked in charge of that one. He had a great big table, and everybody else was on a computer screen.
Yes.
I tell you, that's Biden going, it's not fair. I should be the one at the round table. I hate him.
Yes. Yeah,
it's just bananas. Do you know what? It's so funny that we do laugh sometimes, but what it is it's short-lived because it's not funny. It's not really funny what they're doing.
Oh, I know.
This is why there's a big cliff. Push! Cliff,
yeah,
push!
Exactly.
There's no remorse anymore for me. I'm an empath, but I've got no remorse for these people anymore.
I know.
What remorse can you give them? What? Make them sit in jail? Well, I don't think any of them exist, to be honest. That's how they get away with it.
Exactly.
They don't exist like you think they do. They might be people, but they've been used. Like, it's a bit like, go and get your picture taken. We've got the 10 minutes. Now you're going to be the Queen of England. You don't mind, do you? You'll be in everything. Just turn up for the odd party. You won't mind, will you? And then they turn up and they're drunk or on drugs because they can't cope with it.
Right.
Can't cope with my life. I'm the Queen. I'm Brad Pitt. I'm an actor. Whatever it is.
Yes, that's kind of how I think they do it.
And I also think that they've so lied to us. I mean, I might try and find the connection one day, but the royal family and the actors go together. Don't forget, because Ellen DeGeneres, she should be a queen. That was just so ridiculous. Did I do that with you, Amy, or did I? We did that together, didn't we? Yeah. So when we went to look at it, someone said you need to go to this site. It will show you who Ellen DeGeneres is related to, and we were like, oh, it's going to be about one person, isn't it? And we get there, and so everybody she is related to, the Queen is related to, and she's related to everybody by blood or by marriage. So Louis VIII of France, or whatever it is, in 12, whatever it is, and that's not quite correct, but look, right back there, she's the great, whatever it is, 25th granddaughter, like, I think the Queen might be the 24th granddaughter, you know.
Yeah.
They have, she's not just related to the Queen, she's related to Camilla, Kate, Meghan.
I know. It was like everybody.
She should be a queen.
She should, I know.
So basically, anybody that's got a really good job on the media, obviously is the royal family, really, in America, or equivalent.
Yes. It's like if you become famous, it's because you're got some kind of ties to the royal family or something.
Well, what about the other one I did the other day when Tom Cruise is the other guy?
Keith Urban.
And do you know what? You could say, don't be so stupid, Karen, but me and Amy looked that night, or were listening, he did, well, whether it's all lies, but he does sing, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can sing and bounce around on a stage whenever he wants.
Yeah, so, I mean,
it's like we're in an asylum.
Definitely.
Imagine like trying to say to my mum, you know Nicole Kidman, who she's married to, and my mum will go, yes, that's Tom Cruise, and my mum will go, what? My mum won't get it. She'll say, come and get her, take her away.
I know, because you just can't believe that they would do all this stuff, because we're honest people, most of us, and it's hard to believe they would try to deceive people this way.
I don't know how they sleep at night, Amy, to be honest.
Oh, I know. I mean, and
we have a really good friendship based on trust and reality as best as we can, because obviously we're not in the same country, but we've been friends now for a few years, very good friends, and we have a nice time, and we laugh, and it's real.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
These
right.
people, like someone, it can't just be a couple of people that know the truth. It's got to be a group of people to be able to do this. I mean, they're making the programs like in advance. It may not be quite like the film 3 years in advance, but they are. They're doing it just like that film.
Yes, I agree. It's like it's all just it's all made up, and they have
put in the diary. It's I can't think of anything. So the next disaster will be just say Newbury. Put Newbury in the diary for the 20th of June. Right, now make the stories. So because what it was is I just couldn't believe that, but I made a video about Boris when he was a little child on the road, when he was supposed to have just won the election, and then there was a guy, like a reporter, who was like 15 foot tall, and it made Boris, he was like this little diddy.
Yes.
So that wasn't real, that was made, and that was made before, and it was made knowing they were going to lie about how he'd won and all that kind of stuff.
That's right. And I think you asked me the other day if I thought anything was real in the news, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought they wouldn't have time to cover a real thing that happened, because they have their whole queue of things lined up that they have to cover. So if there ever was something real, they're too busy doing their stuff to even cover it. If something really did happen, they already have everything lined up. They wouldn't have time if there was a real thing that happened to actually show it.
Also, someone said to me about the Ukrainian one. It's amazing all those reporters are there. Where are they staying?
Exactly.
And I just hope people notice that when he was meeting that president, there was not one bullet, bomb, nothing, crack, noise, anything.
Oh, I know.
What? Ceasefire! Boris is coming!
Exactly.
See, Amy, I know what it was about. It says, he faces brutal showdown with his MPs tomorrow amid claims he started a boozy gathering.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, they said that after the Easter weekend, he's gonna have to, basically face the music.
But you know what this is about, don't you? They try to see what they can get past you.
Exactly.
So I know there's no one to go to. You can't even, you can write a letter if you like and say, well, I think Boris should resign and all that. It's not going to do anything. There's no one to go to. There's no one.
That's right.
No one.
That's
I realise that the Ombudsman is a body of people who are being paid to do nothing. They make your case wait 5 years and then tell you they can't help you. That is a body of people being paid to do nothing. So
yes.
This is what it is. But this whole system is evil.
It really is. I know you had that problem with the Ombudsman.
I should have won it.
I know.
And what it was is, just for people, there was this stupid thing about, because we're going to finish in a minute, Amy, we've been going for half an hour now, but there's this thing called PPI. And then about if I say 15 years ago, it could be 20 years ago, I can't remember now, 2010, something like that, 8, whatever. What it was is they basically said, okay, everybody that took PPI can have their money back. Well, what it was is, 3/4 of those people it would have worked for and they could have used it. It was only self-employed. And at the time I was self-employed, so I wasn't going to take this thing because it was never going to work for me. So I didn't want any PPI because it wasn't made for self-employed people then. It was just made for people in companies. Right. So I didn't want it anyway. And so basically, it was nothing to do with PPI. It is PPI, but what's actually happened is that a company has wrongly put a fee on your account for something that you never had.
Well,
so how can they give me back money? I mean, I wanted the money back. In fact, everything that they did for me was broken, but they used, consequential loss, and you had to be almost on the streets to get that. It couldn't just be a normal, they're just not going to give it to you. But there is the What's the Name Act of 1963. That one would have covered that law. And I told them, they just weren't interested because basically they've stuck this other amount of people where all these companies, I'm not going to say the names, but all these companies, banks and that, they would have charged people by accident because a glitch happened on their computer systems. But that's putting wrong charges onto people's accounts. There's no signature I ever had it because I never wanted it. I never went for it. So they're giving me money back for something wrongly, and then what it was is in the end, a lot of these, these companies that go, hey, we can get your PPI back, and they go on and on, they keep coming and coming. Well, in the end, it would annoy me, so I'd talk to one to say, but my case isn't like that. They wrongly put charges on my account for 2.5, 3 years, and I didn't realise that was PPI. And this guy one day said, well, I have noticed in our office that there are a lot of people like you, but that's not what we're going for. We're going for PPI. And they haven't changed it. So basically that is fraud.
Yes.
So I already knew that before I even was a flatty. And then of course that all comes along and you think, oh my God, they're lying even more. And then we've been trying to show things and we can see it all there. It's just awful.
Yes.
That's why I said we need a little piece of land and we can all go and live there. But at the moment I've got empaths. They're just empaths. I don't mean that rudely to anybody else, but the empaths that's who I want to come and live with me.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Because you don't have to do anything. I think this place is what you want it to be. If you want it to be spinning and you want to believe in this, that's it. It works for you, but it doesn't work for me.
Me neither.
I mean, as they've promoted this other way, we've taken the hard road, and it is quite hard because
it is.
The people that you really love stop talking to you for something that they're lying about.
Oh, exactly.
It's just, you know, I'm not going to say the names, but a few ladies have come onto the channel and they've almost like, I want to die, I don't want to be here anymore. And you think, they're young women, maybe, you know, like, say in their 40s, they've still got half their life to go and they feel they want to go.
Oh, I know. And it's really sad, because when you see the truth and then all the people around you don't see it and they're living in the lie, it becomes very lonely. And also when you just realize what a lie we've been living in, it really makes you feel just horrible.
That's why you have to choose your friends carefully, I think, isn't it,
That's
Amy?
right. You do. That's right.
I mean, you know, maybe it doesn't work for anybody else and maybe people won't believe me, but as an empath, I can't lie. I don't want that as my life.
Me neither.
And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if you keep lying, then we've had nothing.
Exactly.
Lies beget lies, and covering lies.
They sure do. Yeah, I'm not a good liar, and I can't do it.
And these people, they can change the narrative at any moment, can't they, Amy? Like,
they do.
I mean, like, we're not really going on about lockdowns or anything anymore, are we? I mean, who's going to believe it anyway? Oh, look, I like that. It says Partygate, resignations now. They lied to Parliament. So guilty and guilty.
Yes.
I just do. I think that they should go.
I know. They should. Do you think that I don't think that they will make it, that Boris will go, though, in their narrative. I think they'll keep him around.
And you notice, you know, in the 80s, say, when we believed the Middle Eastern wars, it looked like a whole thing. Whereas when you watch it now, you're almost going, it's just such a joke, all of it. There's no whole thing, they're animals.
Yes.
It just doesn't look real at all. And then you've got Joe Biden, you know, he's evil man. Nothing's happening. He hasn't done anything.
I know.
It's almost like we need to go, right, we need 20 of you. We're going to Ukraine to find out for ourselves.
Exactly. And when you just think about all these pictures over the years that we see of everything, they're always having a picture of what happened, and then we just kind of look at it and think it's real. But then you have to wonder, how did they get these pictures and everything, these perfect shots?
Yeah, they're able to get them, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. They'll show people crying, or, you know, they just get right up on them and have all these things, and I don't think they're real. I think that it's all made up, and we've just been inundated with it for years. I mean, we got the. I mean, YouTube didn't like the video at the time. I can't remember her name now, Amy. Do you remember her? She was that blonde CNN reporter. She was freelance, so she said. But when we watched it again a few months ago, me and Amy, and I kept saying, but she looks like a man now. I'm not sure. And then, whereas I looked at her as like a heroine to start with, I wasn't sure, because when we watched the bit about the Middle East, she's talking about it, and which country is it she wanted? She was for Bahrain.
She was for Bahrain, but then she was putting everybody else down. I thought, what? You know, and actually she was like double Dutch, actually. But what she said was, because she made a program, and it wasn't even that bad because CNN showed it, but they wouldn't show it on CNN, whatever it was, Business or something, or Plus, whatever it was, something else. So she was angry. I've made my program. And basically, she went to make this documentary, and she was kind of told, no, we can't show that. And actually the story was that she tells is that the media make the news. Countries say, I want you saying we're at war, I want you saying we're on the beach, I want you saying this, and then they make them, and then that's it, that goes out in the news.
Yes,
and
that's
they pay for them to make the news.
Exactly.
And we already know what NASA is, and I said that NASA's helping. They're into that, what is it, that cognitive engineering?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, it just sounds horrible, doesn't it? Just the whole
it
thing.
really does.
Yeah, people, you need to go and do your homework. I've put the videos out. I've tried as best as possible because YouTube don't really like us going on too much about these kind of things.
That's right.
So, yeah.
They don't...
Well, I'm putting this on BitChute as well, Amy.
Oh, cool.
They'll love it because BitChute have had a bit of a go at me, and a couple of times I've said in messages, even on the video, like, I'm really sorry, but, you know, YouTube, with copyright and these rules they've got, you don't have these kind of rules on BitChute or Odyssey. They obviously have rules, and if they got bigger, they'd have more rules, but right now they don't. So if you want to get something out, you'd rather put it on BitChute, and unfortunately that's happened occasionally. I've put stuff out on BitChute that it's not that I'm afraid, but you know, they've already taken 2 channels for nothing more than me just telling a bit of truth.
I know it.
But then you realise that they're in on it too.
That's right. It's awful.
It's great, isn't it? Like we'll say the police or the army or something, and we'll just make the platform everybody's going to go on. We'll make a couple of platforms and we can watch everything they're doing. Right, we don't like that, delete that. And it's not being deleted because maybe your comments aren't that. No, they're just deleting any truth whatsoever. It's like communism.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a form of communism.
Definitely. It is.
And you know, a few times I've been horrified, you know, finding out all this abandoned stuff and they think that they're wonderful. Flip flops.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, Amy, we've been going on for 40 minutes, right?
Okay.
We've done Boris. He needs to resign.
Yes.
And what's your thoughts then? I think he needs to resign. We need to go, really.
I agree.
We've been going for so long, but yeah. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so too, because it's not right that they said he was preaching all this stuff and you can't see each other, you can't get together, and then he was doing, and now they're just kind of like they're making a mockery because when they give him a fine, they only give him £50, and then that's
what was that for?
Yeah, it's what they call a slap in the wrist. It's like where you do something, so they wanna act like they got you back or whatever. They gave justice, but they don't do anything to the person.
So does that mean that he has a charge on him by the police?
Yeah, I guess so.
So our Prime Minister has a charge on him by the police.
Yeah, I would think that's how that
he
works.
needs to go.
I agree.
For lying, really he does, and not pretend to meet the Ukrainian president. Because Amy, that video's not out. It's going to be on the Unscrambled channel, and actually, it looks. I mean, a few people that saw it said that looks like Trump. So it looks like maybe a video of Trump, and then they've stuck Boris on the top.
Oh well.
There's just a few pictures when he's walking through this gate. And you think, I thought Trump, but it isn't quite Trump, but it looks a bit like Trump, like they've covered over. Anyway, so that's going to be out on Unscrambled in the next day or so, but what you got to do is slow the footage down.
That's right, that's how you find it. Find all the mistakes.
And then you'll see it's all a cartoon.
That's right.
Do you know something? I really wouldn't like to meet Boris. You're like, Dad, I suddenly meet him I'd be a bit worried that I'd want to run over and thump him.
I know.
Traitor. You Roman traitor. That's what I'd say.
I know. Oh, it's terrible. I know.
Thank you for helping me, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's me and Amy on our reporting of what we think on the £50 fine.
Yes.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome, Karen.